guys, I am the CHALL, your Doncaster Rovers fan for football content, and we're going to steer away from Donny Rovers for this particular video because it's something I want to discuss for a few days now, and I want to gather my thoughts about it and just share my thoughts on it, because every die-hard fan of football knows this has been in the works for a long time, and I just wanted to gather my thoughts over the last couple of days about this. So, obviously, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you've read by the title by now, it is the European Super League. Now, this is a concept which, not confirmed, but 50-50 would probably get rid of the Champions League, but it works like the Premier League, I believe. So, I'm going to look, this is just first thoughts, I'm going to read the article and then I'm going to look more into it. So, before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another video. Shout out to Sky Sports Football for the information and the article for this video that I've used in this video. And let's get into talking about this European Super League, because I'm interested to see what else is being said. So Sky Sports' article officially states that leaked plans for a lucrative European Premier League have sent the footballing world into frenzy and left the game on the precipice of a generational change. Liverpool and Manchester United have participated in talks over the construction of a new FIFA-backed tournament, which will be funded to the sum of $6 billion by Wall Street bank JP Morgan. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City and Tottenham have reportedly been approached as the revolutionary proposal takes shape. But what does this mean for the future of the Premier League, the Champions League and football as we know it? Well, they've summed up some points so far. It's understood that more than a dozen clubs from Italy, Germany, France, England and Spain are in negotiations about becoming founding members of the competition. Liverpool and Manchester United, who have faced recent criticism of the development of their controversial Project Big Picture proposals, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City and Tottenham make up the contingent of the Premier League clubs who have been approached, and it's believed as many as 5 could sign up. Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid from Spain, Bayern Munich from Germany, Juventus from Italy and Paris Saint-Germain from France are also thought to be among the candidates clubs for the new league. The plan is said to have the backing of the sport's world governing body FIFA and also reported to involve Real Madrid president Florentino Perez. Now, as part of the initial blueprint, founder clubs could not be relegated for 20 years, meaning that a maximum of 6 places will be available each season. It's understood relegation could form part of the new competition, with the participation of non-founding member clubs subject to the domestic league position at the end of each season. So at first glance, the European Premier League makes for a fascinating prospect that would see the biggest clubs on the continent compete on a more consistent basis. Initial proposals will suggest the European Premier League will be split into 2 distinct sections, a league and a knockout phase. With as many as 18 clubs involved, the league would comprise of a round-robin tournament in which clubs would play home and away midweek fixtures over 34 match days. Once completed, the top-placed teams in the world will compete in a knockout phase where the European Premier League winners will be determined, although such details are yet to be revealed. Proposals in the past for a European Super League threatened to break away from existing domestic leagues. European Premier League plans are designed to work alongside competitions such as the Premier League. Instead of forming a breakaway league, fixtures will be played in existing midweek slots that are currently occupied by the UEFA Champions League, and of course, the Europa League are in there as well. It means that a Premier League club could honour their European Premier League commitments during the week while fulfilling their domestic schedule at the weekend. Nevertheless, the creation of the European Premier League will have profound implications for the value of domestic broadcasting and sponsorship rights across Europe at a time when the finances of the entire football pyramid have been hit hard by the COVID-19 crisis. UEFA are strongly opposed to the plan, and it's made it clear that any changes to their open format competitions are not negotiable. They're in talks over changes to the Champions League format from 2024, with reports that they may consider increasing the number of teams to 36, but nothing has been decided. However, the creation of the European Premier League would make it unlikely that UEFA's flagship competition, which was introduced in 1992, would be able to continue. Now, legally, are there any restrictions that could stop this from happening? Well, if a new Super League is to kick off as early as 2022 in an already disruptive World Cup year, there would have to be considerable hurdles to overcome. UEFA has a format and lucrative TV contract in place until 2024, and companies have paid big money for the rights to be broadcast games involving Europe's top clubs. A European Premier League will also have a considerable impact on the value of the Premier League too. What if finishing in the top 4 no longer matters? What would happen to the compelling drama if European participation was guaranteed to only a select number of clubs, regardless of where they finish? Legal challenges would surely follow. Now the question still remains, how could the power struggle play out between FIFA and UEFA? Could other governing bodies break away from FIFA as a result of any potential dispute? Now FIFA prides itself on being a family made up of 211 national associations around the world and supports them financially and logistically through various programs. UEFA is one of FIFA's 6 confederations with 55 national associations in Europe, including the Football Association. The FA, of course, the governing body of football in England, which includes all competitions such as the Premier League. Quite simply, the game's administration is entwined and everything is linked. To untangle it is complicated and will require approval at every senior level within the game. Now, what about FIFA's own plans for a Club World Cup? Now, Liverpool, of course, are the reigning champions after their win against Flamengo in Doha back in December 2019. Last month, FIFA President Gianni Infantino said the competition will be impacted by the coronavirus. He said when it comes to the current Club World Cup of 2020, well, since many confederations or some confederations will probably not include their Champions Leagues until December, it's unlikely that this event will take place in December of this year as originally planned. But of course they are still discussing, they're monitoring, they'll be seeing if they can host in Qatar maybe at the beginning of the new year. They certainly want to see if they can keep it, and they'll do everything consulting all the confederations and all the participating clubs and take the best decision for football. So of course Liverpool are yet to comment on all of this European Super League stuff, but United's chief executive, Ed Woodward, has asked about the European Premier League during a conference call following the announcement of United's latest financial results back on Wednesday. Woodward replied to a question asking for more detail and said, "I don't know where this story came from. We're engaged with the ECA and the UEFA about changes to be made from the Champions League from 2024 onwards, which could involve 36 teams being involved." In a statement released on Tuesday, FIFA said FIFA does not want to comment and participate in any speculation about topics which come up every now and then and for which institutional structures and regularity frameworks are well in place at national, European and global level. So, Gary Neville, has said the sums of money discussed to finance the new proposed league at a time when areas of the English game are in severe financial difficulty reflects badly on a Premier League who are yet to agree a support package for EFL teams. He said the big issue that I have with it is that in a moment of time, in the middle of a pandemic and when football is on its knees at so many different levels, the FA, EFL clubs and non-league clubs are struggling, the idea that a $6 billion package is being put together to set up a new league where lower clubs are scrambling around to pay wages and stay in existence is another wound for football. It doesn't feel like the right time to be talking about this. The league probably doesn't suit Manchester United or Liverpool at this moment in time as they're seen as the big bad bullies. So that is a long list of information, what we know so far about this European Super League. Now I did see something from the Liverpool Echo a couple of hours ago, or a few hours ago by the time you're watching this, that I think it's either FIFA or UEFA apparently doesn't back, well reportedly, rumouredly, doesn't back Liverpool in this European Super League. Now, what are my thoughts on this? Well, I think Gary Neville is absolutely on the mark. I think that with lower league clubs, especially in English football, suffering because of this pandemic with finances and the Premier League yet to agree a support package for the EFL financially for the lower league clubs in the Football League, why talk about a $6 billion package for a European Super League to... And first of all, and these are some major flaws with it, first of all, if it was going to be a Super League, why would you put it in a midweek? Why would you take out the Champions League and the pretty much the Europa League as well? It doesn't make sense. And you hear the teams that are mentioned: Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, especially from English football. They could drop into the Europa League at any time. They could play on a Thursday. So are you going to say that Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're going to play, or Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, are they going to play European Super League games on all them days? I don't know. I think that this is just another power grab. I think this is just another grab to leave English football in the dust and put Europe's best in the primary spotlight for marketing and sponsorship deals. This is just another way for the big American owners to grab the billions of bucks and just trot on their high horse and leave their domestic football in the dust. And I know it's said that the Super League will be played alongside the Premier League, but when you put a European Super League backed with $6 billion, which is nearly £5 billion, if you put that in the same week as a Premier League, a domestic competition in the country, which one do you think is going to get the most sponsorships? Which one do you think is going to get the most broadcasting rights? It's going to be the Super League. And the Premier League will gradually, year upon year upon year upon year, are going to get less and less funding compared to the Super League. The big clubs are going to survive, and the smaller clubs in the Premier League are going to fall just like we are, just like the EFL are, just like the non-league are. This is just another power grab. And you know what the best part about it is? And Gary Neville said it, why are you discussing this now in the wake of a pandemic? No one can travel anywhere without catching this damn virus. Why would you discuss a European Super League playing home and away match days on a round-robin table tournament when, if you travel anywhere, you could catch a damn virus? Why would you discuss a Super League where you have to travel, come back, and that affects the Premier League schedule as well? Why would you come back, home and away, return, flight there, flight back to Europe, and then go and expect to play a Premier League game at the weekend? Why would you do that? It's just another step in the direction of putting the best clubs, the biggest spenders on the map, and leaving the lowest spenders with the more passion and the most enthusiasm for the game, not for the business, and the teams that have hardly any plastic fans available, they're going to be left in the dust, and the teams that have gained plastic fans and billions of dollars are going to be playing in the top levels of football to leave the rest in the dust. I don't care whether it's in the same schedule as a Premier League game. Premier League is going to keep lowering their standards, and it's going to be on the same level as the Football League. Maybe they'll swap VAR rights. Maybe they're going to give the VAR rights to the Super League and take away the Premier League's VAR rights and goal line technology, and then they're going to be in the same boat as the Championship, League 1 and League 2. It's going to be England with its 4 divisions, non-league below it, European Super League above it. And generally, put it in the comments down below, if this gets passed, who predicts in about 10, 15, 20 years' time, when the founding teams are able to get relegated from this, in about 20 years' time, who thinks, comment down below, who thinks that there's going to be no title for the Premier League and it's instead going to be promotion or relegation from the European Super League? Please, please, please comment down below if you think that's going to happen, because the Premier League is just going to merge with other leagues and it's just going to become a European power grab. I don't get this. I really, really don't. First of all, why would you get rid of the Champions League? It's one of the best competitions. That plan, by 2024, to have 36 teams, if we're not in a pandemic, I fully back having more teams in the Champions League, because it gives other lower clubs more of a chance to earn money through the Champions League. Clubs that, I mean, to be fair, and you might think I'm absolutely ludicrous here, but teams that finish in the top 3 of the Championship, they could actually, and you might think I'm absolutely bonkers here, but wouldn't it be fantastic if the Carabao Cup winners and losers and the FA Cup winners and losers get Champions League football, and the 3 teams from the Championship enter the qualifying stage of the Europa League? If you kept the Champions League and the Europa League, you could give lower clubs in this country more of a chance to play at European level, especially if they're promoted to the Championship, to the Premier League from the Championship. And I don't mean top 3 as in first, second, third in the Championship, by the way. I mean first, second, and the playoff winners. And to be fair, yes, it would be a massive, financial strain on them. But this is where the EFL and the Premier League and the governing bodies are going to come in and give the EFL more support if you're going to back this. If they want to give first, second, and the playoff winners of the Championship Europa League football as they go into the Premiership, give those clubs more money, because then they'll have less of a financial strain to work with it. And I feel that with more support for these lower league clubs, the more chance they've got of experiencing the highs of Premier League football on a consistent basis. So, I I don't know. I just feel like this is just another chance at a power grab. I might be wrong, might be right. But you can leave your comments down below, leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. What's my views on this? This should not be happening. I'm fully supporting having more Champions League teams because it gives more lower league clubs in other areas of Europe a chance to fight in the top continental cup competition in the world. And the Europa League would stay as well, which means it's great for other clubs to experience some kind of continental success. So I do not support this European Super League. Again, who's surprised that Liverpool and Man United are behind this? You know, Liverpool, you know, they've got a great manager. They've won the Premier League title for the first time in, 30 years, 40 years last season. And they've got the American owners. They like to pickpocket. And even Liverpool fans are blaming the owners for this. You know, they might be happy with how their club's run at the minute in terms of on the pitch, but off the pitch, the owners are just trying to collect a power grab as much as possible. And Manchester United, again, I wasn't really surprised, to be honest. Glazers, Woodward, all pickpocketing idiots from Man United Football Club, always want to make a profit out of that club and drag the club down to as further as they can without spending any money. It's just, they're a disgrace to run a football club, and there was no surprise where Liverpool and Man United were concerned. If Arsenal accept to join the Super League if it gets passed, then I won't be surprised. Stan Kroenke doesn't travel to a game, just wants the millions and millions in his pocket. And, you know, the whole Ozil situation, I'm absolutely disgusted by that. Tottenham, again, Daniel Levy, he wants the best for the club, but is it really the best with this Super League? Man City, Saudi Arabian owners, I might not blame the owners if they want to get involved because it's more money for them, but, you know, again, it's just a club with plastic fans. Well, some of them, not all of them. Some of them have been die-hard fans from City from a while back in the days when City didn't have a Saudi Arabian backing, but, you know, and the most interesting thing is, if Newcastle got taken over for millions and millions, if Burnley got taken over for millions and millions, West Ham, other clubs in the Championship, if they got taken over, would they be and they spent millions and millions and became a bigger club in terms of how much stats they've got in the financial market? Would those clubs now be eligible for the Super League, or would they still be staying in the Premier League despite getting taken over? Or would the Super League be another way of trying to, and I saw a headline about this, apparently the European Super League could be, to Liverpool and Man United, a chance to revitalise their Project Big Picture plans, and I was not a fan of this Project Big Picture from the start, and you guys saw my Sat Rick Parry video from about a week or two ago. You guys know I'm not behind this Project Big Picture, but, you know, is this going to be a way to revitalise those plans and give them more power? Again, it's just not right. So I'm not a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of the Champions League getting more teams because it's more of a chance for the lower teams to fight for their place in Europe and to give them more recognition that they deserve. And I think that keeping the Champions League and Europa League is right for this competition, especially with the changes coming in 2024. So I really don't see this happening, but I'll be very surprised if it does, and it just shows they're money-grabbing scumbags if this gets passed. So I don't know. Comment down below your thoughts on the Super League, guys. I'm out of here. My name is the CHALL, and I'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Thank you. Have a nice day.